Hi all. It's been a long time since we made our Open RAN video back in 2019, just before the Mobile World Congress. This was just over 2 years ago, but if you think about it, nobody really knew or understood what Open RAN meant, and nobody talked about it very knowledgeably. That video now has over 50,000 views and is still on an average our second most viewed video. So what prompted me to do this is a CCA webinar I attended recently. The speaker was from Nokia, who were also the sponsors. While there were many points I disagreed with, I did enjoy the presentation overall. One of the discussion points reminded me of a question that often comes up, which is, why do so many smaller companies invest their time and money into Open RAN? So let's just discuss that. When we talk about Open RAN, we generally see these three companies being mentioned: Parallel Wireless, Mavenir, and Altiostar. We often overlook the fact that Nokia, Samsung, and Ericsson are all actively participating in Open RAN groups and have made various ORAN related announcements. If you look at Telecom Infra Project or TIP, we see these companies as active players. In addition, there are hundreds of other companies that are members of TIP. The same is true with ORAN Alliance, where they boast about having more than 270 members, including mobile operators, vendors, and research and academic institutions operating in the radio access network industry. Coming back to the CCA webinar, this was the slide that prompted me to create this video. Now you will be able to get the slides for this video from our SlideShare channel. In there, you will find the references at the end that you can actually explore further if you wish to. So what Nokia is pointing out here is that when we talk about open interfaces in the access network and the open supply chain, it does provide new vendor options, but doesn't provide any new services. Eventually, when the RAN intelligent controller or the RIC is available, it would help by providing new services, while the service management and orchestration or SMO will help reduce network complexity. The argument they made is that in the meantime, operators should stick with the incumbents who have the better and proven solution. While this may be true, it should be pointed out that unless operators take the risk and provide opportunities to the newer players, they will lose as much as these newer players. So, not sure how many of you know the history of these big incumbent vendors. While Ericsson started as telephone maker back in 1878, Nokia's first business was making rubber in 1904. Samsung started out as a small trading company in 1938 dealing with dried fish, locally grown groceries and noodles. So things have definitely moved on for all these companies, mainly because they made good use of the opportunities and improved their products. The same will be true for all these newer players if they get an opportunity to deploy in live networks and improve their solutions. People who regularly attend online events and webinars on Open RAN may have heard Sachin Katti from VMware talk about the four levels of disaggregation. The radio hardware and compute disaggregation is already happening today. The management plane and the control plane is coming soon. So for the remaining part, I will mostly look at the top two, which is the radio hardware and the compute. So we are going to look at some of the numbers that many reputable analysts have shared, and that will help us understand why so many companies are interested in working on some or the other aspect of Open RAN and open networks in general. So please note the disclaimer here. I am more of a technology analyst and do not have the detailed understanding of the market numbers. All the numbers I am sharing here make sense to me and I am in agreement with. In some case, I may think that they are on the lower end, and in other cases, I may think that they are on the higher end. Let's start with Appledore Research, who say that they expect Open RAN spending by telcos to hit $11.2 billion in 2026. Of course, the majority will be with traditional vendors, not specialist tech suppliers. This means that the likes of Samsung, Nokia and Ericsson. So they are shown as orange in the bar of the graph. Then there will be new competitive integrated Open RAN players that will capture something like 9% market share or just under $1 billion. So this is the gray colored bar. These integrated players are the likes of Parallel Wireless or Mavenir or Altista. Finally, they talk about multi-vendor Open RAN players shown by the blue color who will capture around 2.2 billion US dollars. What do they mean by multi-vendor Open RAN? This could be a consortium with different players, or it could be forced by operators looking at having a truly open network where they can just plug in things from different vendors and make it work. So the example which I can think of for the consortia are the likes of Rakuten or Cisco. They also share this more detailed breakdown of the multi-vendor networks where they explain what players will end up with what kind of share. It should be noted that in many cases the system integration and prime may be the integrated Open RAN player, but in other cases it could be led by the integrators like Tech Mahindra, Wipro, Red Hat, IBM, whatever. In their Open RAN report from last year, ABI Research also highlighted the key companies developing the core Open RAN functionality. This is another way of showing what Appledore Research slide showed earlier. You will notice that the ecosystem is already looking big and healthy, and I have no doubt that this will continue to grow. If you look at ABI Research latest Open RAN predictions, they are much higher than Appledore's number. Having talked to them and understood their assumptions, these numbers also look reasonable to me. While Appledore talked about $11.2 billion in 2026, ABI research numbers are just over 49 billion US dollars in 2026. Finally, just look at the Dell'Oro Group's Open RAN predictions. They expect cumulative Open RAN investments, including hardware, software, and firmware, but excluding services, to approach over $10 billion over the 2020 to 2025 forecast period. It should be noted that these don't include the big players and also don't include radios. Dell'Oro has already revised their predictions upwards in the last year, and I don't see why more of these upward revisions won't occur. Finally, I thought I will add this one chart from Light Counting. Stefan Terrell did a report on CSON or centralized SON. With the transition to Open RAN, a lot of SON functionality will end up as XApps or RApps in the RIC. His prediction is that by 2025, over 40% of the CSON sales will be as RApps or XApps. This is quite bold, but entirely possible. Here are the references if you want to dig deeper on this topic. So this was my short opinion piece looking at the forecast and market analysis on Open RAN. Happy to hear your thoughts. Feel free to comment and agree or disagree, whatever you feel like. Keep safe, and I look forward to seeing you on our channel sometime soon. Thanks and goodbye.